Good morning, everyone. My name's Todd Bridges. I'm the National Lead for Engineering with Nature, and I'd like to welcome each and every one of you here today to this event to mark the publication of our Engineering with Nature Atlas. We have a number of guests in the room today, some sitting and some standing at the back. We have several functional areas and offices and programs within the Army Corps of Engineers here with us. We have our 3 Engineering with Nature proving grounds in Galveston and Buffalo and Philadelphia districts. We're great to have them here as they're implementing these practices and demonstrating to all of us what can be done. And we have many of our key partners and contributors to this effort and practice of engineering with nature. We're grateful and we're honored to have each and every one of you here with us today. So, why an Engineering with Nature Atlas? Why? People have asked that question in a number of different ways. And the question's worth answering. The short answer is to communicate what engineering with nature is and what it means to use science and engineering to produce efficiency and how we work, to use natural processes to maximum benefit, to diversify the types of value and benefits that we produce from projects, and how we actually collaborate with one another to build these kinds of projects. And it's also reasonable to ask, well, with whom are we communicating with the Atlas? One audience is the public at large, the people who ultimately pay for infrastructure projects. There are about 7 million scientists and engineers employed as such in the United States today. 7 million. That's 2% of the population of this country. The majority of people do not view projects through the lens of equations and data tables. That's the purview of technicians like ourselves, of engineers and scientists. They view projects with their eyes, right? Project is what they see and what they see it doing. So in the Atlas, we focused on what these projects look like. And by doing this, our intention is to make these projects real to people. They see what has been done, and then they can envision what can be done in the future. Another group with whom we're communicating includes our partners, and there are many of them joining us today. These are the people with whom we work to actually produce projects. And our partners and our stakeholders come in a variety of flavors, right? They have a wide range of perspectives and interests and values that they want to incorporate into projects. In the 20th century, we used a lot of concrete and asphalt and rock, right, to develop the infrastructure network that we benefit from every day in the US and other countries around the world. The projects we build, I would propose to you in the next 25, 50, and 100 years are going to be different than the projects that we built yesterday. There's actually, I would submit to you, a momentum building, even an expectation for producing more value in projects and more diversified value in projects. So our projects can serve multiple purposes and produce multiple streams of value, serving engineering and economic and social and environmental functions and outputs. So learning how to collaborate with others across the wide spectrum of interests and perspectives that exist is really key to building these diversified projects in the future. Seeing how other teams around the world have produced real projects on the ground and how they've collaborated to produce that diversification is a learning that we all need to share with them. And finally, we're communicating with ourselves within the Army Corps of Engineers by producing an atlas like this. All organizations talk to themselves, right? They have internal dialogue and conversation with themselves about who they are, what their values are, what they can do, and then maybe more importantly, what they should do. And the Army Corps of Engineers is no exception to this. So our sense of identity as an organization evolves, and it evolves in response to a number of influences, including sharing information within our organization and across the enterprise about what we are accomplishing collectively together and what we're producing in the form of projects and benefits for the country. So there are 56 projects in the Atlas, and there are 26 of those projects that are Army Corps of Engineers projects in the Engineering with Nature Atlas. So those 26 projects answer the question, can we, as an agency, engineer with nature? Because those projects exist, they're on the ground. So the answer to that question is, we are and have been engineering with nature. Well, if we have been, then why do we need an atlas? Now, we can circle back to that question. And my answer to that is to help us make the exceptional projects of the past commonplace in the future. And then by that to stimulate ourselves to building the internal capacity, right, to engineer better in the future. So while we're having this conversation with ourselves, it's also important to understand the broader, the worldwide context for this practice, and to learn the lessons that others have learned as they engineer with nature. And this collective learning really enables us to accelerate our progress as a community of practitioners worldwide. So, why an Engineering with Nature Atlas? There are lots of reasons. And I thank you again all for being here today with us and enjoying, hopefully, the Atlas and sharing it as we have our conversations with you. Thank you very much.